Guys, welcome to my channel. My name's Cherry Mark and thank you for joining me and thank you so much for clicking. I'm glad to be here and I am so happy to have you as my host in this video. And yeah, we are going to learn about Kikuyu history. Apparently, Kikuyu has a very interesting history behind, and this is what I want to bring up and I want to bring in this platform, because being that we are living in the 21st century, we don't have a lot we don't have a lot of education about our Kikuyu history and culture, and this is very sad because most of the young people that are now the young generation do not know their about how to carry themselves out back in the village, and also they have no information about their culture. And if we can think about this is very sad. So I'm out here in this platform to educate everybody who is a Kikuyu living in the diaspora, wherever in this world, who is not aware about his culture. I am here to educate you about the history of Kikuyu, the Kikuyu language, and everything to do with Kikuyu. So, and if you are an expert in this, please, I want to ask you to join me also in this platform. Let's educate each other, share your experiences, share your ideas, your suggestions. Let me know most of the things or some of the things that I also do not know, because I'm also not perfect. I'm also learning. Well, I want to say I was lucky to grow up in the Kikuyu culture, when the culture was still practiced. But with time, due to migration, migration from one place to another, there have been many things that I also still have no idea. But ladies and gentlemen, without wasting much time, let's get started and let's get to know what I have prepared for you. As usual, take your cup of coffee, your cup of tea, your bottle of water if you have, like I do here, and yeah. Before we get started, let's hydrate ourselves. Wow. Now, we are going to speak about the history of Kikuyu, and this concerns Thingira. Thingira is a designated house in the Kikuyu traditional homestead for a man who has already undergone circumcision. We are going to learn about Thingira, and I'm also going to pinpoint about Nyoba. Basically, it's just going to be about the living, or the style of living in the traditional homestead. How did men and women live in the homestead? Where and how? This is what I'm going to touch in this video. Now, let's get started. In every Kikuyu homestead, the woman's house, Nyoba means house. Nyoba means house, belonged to a specific married woman in that homestead. In every Kikuyu traditional homestead, the woman's house, nyoba. Nyoba is a house. If I'm speaking about a house, even now, I would say nyoba. But we are speaking about that culture, that what was done back in the days, belonged to a specific married woman. Nyoba belonged to a specific married woman in that family or in that homestead. In a polygamous homestead, the number of nyobas corresponded to the number of wives in that married homestead. The number of nyobas corresponded to the number of wives in that homestead. Remember, back in the days, we had the polygamous way of marriage, and most of the men married 2, 3, 4, 5 women. So in every homestead, the number of nyoba is here, there, corresponding to the number of married wives in that homestead, or the number of wives married from that man of that house. Unless the widower mother of the man also had a house in the homestead. Unless the widower or the mother of the man who was a widower also had a house in that homestead, unless that was the case. Otherwise, it was always the number of the nyobas in that homestead corresponded to the wives that the man had married, unless the widower who was the mother of the man was living in the homestead. Now, she also had a nyoba within the compound. Now, all nyobas opened into an open courtyard called ja, which was bare earth and cleanly swept. All the nyobas they opened into an open courtyard in the compound, which was called ja. Ja simply means outside. So you can imagine there is a nyoba here, there's another one here, and there is another one here, and all of them opened into an outside courtyard, which was cleanly swept and facing outside, and that is what we call ja. Ja meaning outside, and it was all bare earth, basically nothing. It was just an open ground. Now, ja, which we said is outside, this was where the day-to-day women activities or functions of the homestead took place. Ja, which was outside, was where the day-to-day activities or functions of the day-to-day activities took place, that the women did. The day-to-day activities of the women took place outside, like ja. They used to make food, to winnowing grains. There were so many things, dancing, singing, taking care of the babies and kids. It used to happen ja outside. Now, the man inhabited a separate hut, which I said it's called Thingira. Thingira is that special or that separate hut where the man inhabited, which was set apart near the entrance, which we said is Jah. Now, the man inhabited a separate hut, Thingira, which was set apart near the entrance, Jah. Thingira was set apart near the entrance of the homestead, Jah. Now, this is where Thingira comes from. Thingira is not Nyoba. Nyoba and Thingira are two different things. Put that in mind. Nyoba belonged to the women. Thingira belonged to the man. Now, a young unmarried man's Thingira was far removed from his father's circle of several Nyobas. Now, a young unmarried man, remember this is a man who has not yet married, so he doesn't have a wife or so. His Thingira was far removed from his father's circle. It was not within the homestead. It was set outside, far away. Now, this I have also experienced while I was growing up, and it is still practiced even up to today. When a boy is circumcised, he graduates, or he transforms into Mwanake. Mwanake is still not a married man. He has just undergone circumcision, and thus he gets his own Thingira. But this Thingira has to be far away from his father's house, or from the wives of his father. So it has to be set quite a distance away. The girls, until marriage, slept in the respective mother's Nyoba. Remember, the girls did not, or they were not allowed, or it was a taboo for the girls to interfere or even to enter into the Thingira. Nyoba, Thingira were completely different things, and the girls, until marriage, slept in their respective mother's Nyoba. They were not allowed to sleep in the Thingira. They were only supposed, and it was according to the culture of Kikuyu, that they sleep in their mother's Nyoba. This was done to avoid the issues of fathers and daughters bumping into each other on the way to and from the washroom. This was done to avoid issues of father and daughters bumping into each other. Remember, we are still human beings, and many things happen. We are not logs, or we are people who have feelings, we have emotions, and many other things. And that's why we see the Kikuyu traditional culture separates the women and the men, or the girls and the boys. Once they reached their puberty, they were really separated from each other, and this was to avoid such issues of bumping into each other on the way to the washroom or from the washroom. Sometimes we see in the modern living society, we see that young boys or anake, when they are living still in their mother's house, what happens? Sometimes they're just bumping, they are crossing each other's on the house, or in the house, the corridors, while their moms are in the night dresses and many other things. Or even when the guys or these anake bump into their sister's bedroom, and sometimes there are many things that men are not supposed to see. I mean, it is not allowed that them to see what is happening in the girl's bedroom. So this was done to avoid such embarrassing issues. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to end this video right here, and I'm going to continue this in another separate video. It's very, very interesting. Please keep tuned, and until next time, let's see each other again.